So yeah, this is a very nice place, and this is like another section of the pathway that follows the railway line. I just finished my class. I just taught a 5-hour class, if you watch my other videos, and I'm walking home. So yeah, I've never walked along here before. I've seen it get developed, and yeah, I just thought I'd show some of my viewers like this park. It's a very beautiful park. It's a lovely park. And yeah, here we go. I'll just turn the camera around. And yeah, this is it. It's really lovely. And what's cool about this park are what's cool about this section of this park are number one, they have these little humps. There's like another one of them ahead, I think. But then these little like seating bays, they're like really lovely. That's really cool. I think that's really cool. And yeah, it's really special. Like they're just getting better and better. I don't know which firm exactly designed this park. If I could read the Chinese, I could probably understand. Like they must give them credit. But yeah, there's another. I might come here with Lina and find out the name of the company who designed it, if anybody's interested. But yeah, and then they've got these lovely crabapple trees planted along here. So yeah, they're just getting better and better at building these parks. It's really quite wonderful. But I think this park has been planned for a long time. It's just taken a long time to build. But yeah, I'm really happy that I'm finally checking it out. And the really cool thing about this path is that it continues like for about 6 or 7 kilometers. It goes almost all the way to the river. And yeah, here's another little seating bay, which is really cool. Yeah, it's just extraordinary the way that they design these parks. I did ride along this path. I guess not this section actually. This section was always pretty rough and ready. This was just a railway line basically. I'm not going to start embellishing the truth, like some other people on YouTube. But I don't think that I ever walked along it either. I don't think I would have been brave enough, because the entrance there, they did previously have a guard. And yeah, some of my subscribers are Chinese, so they might be overseas Chinese. Jason Lee, I notice he's one of my subscribers. He's Chinese, so yeah, he'd be able to read that. I mean, Paul Ji-cha, like I can struggle along to read like a few of the characters, but I would never claim to be just like fluent Chinese reader. And yeah, check out these bays with the concrete railway sleepers there. And I guess what's really nice about them is that, a big family group, like an extended family group, could sit there together and sort of enjoy the railway park. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, which is really lovely actually. I mean, the designers have really taken into account the reality of Chinese family life, and they've done that. And then look at here, which is really special. I mean, it's just like a dream, You've got these little flowers. I wonder if there weren't more before, and some of them have been picked on the weekends and so on. But what are they, nasturtiums? I'm not sure. I'm not really a gardener. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not really a gardener. I hope to be one day, but at the moment, if I start to sort of pretend to be a gardener, it would just be a bit ridiculous, because I do not have a garden. I do not do any gardening at the moment. And yeah, this is pretty interesting as well, because up here the path kind of like widens, I guess, and you've got like these other little paths up here, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, just grandparents hanging out with their grandkids, looking after them basically. And yeah, more of these lovely seats, more of these really cool seats here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and they're big thick pieces of timber, and yeah, it's very, very, very special. Very special. It's a special place. It's a special place. And more of the trains here. So it's pretty cool. It's a special place. It's a special place. This is a whole other section here. Yeah, it's got so many different layers and levels and stuff. And yeah, these funny things here, this is like a kind of a bunker that was built, I guess just to guard the railway. I don't know a lot about them, so it's silly of me to start to explain them, but yeah. And then yeah, it's a strange, awkward kind of I guess place. And yeah, you got this little kid up here who's just throwing rocks in, which is I guess his right to do that, but yeah, I'll stop filming it. And yeah, my wife works. Yeah, so these guys, Waimai guys, they use this, and maybe they shouldn't. I mean, I think they might have broken into it somehow. I'm not sure they're supposed to be on here. But yeah, my wife works over in those buildings over there. Her office is in one of those apartment buildings, and she loves it. Yeah, she loves working there. And that like is a part of the winter heating system, and yeah, I expect that will be turned off this year or converted to electricity or gas, because yeah, they're slowly converting all of them to electricity or gas. So I would assume that either this year or next year will be its last year. And yeah, these guys are really just using this as a, well, that guy had to turn around actually, he couldn't get through, so he must be new to the job. And that is really worth a photo. So these are all worth a video. Yeah, these are all roses, and yeah, they look pretty good. They look really lovely. I think they're a little bit past their prime, but it's still like just a tapestry of color. Is the best way to describe it, or a mosaic of various colors, which is pretty cool, which is really lovely. Yeah, and that woman over there, I don't think she's picking roses. I think she's picking these little plants that grow among the roses, just to boil up a tea or dry them out or whatever. They've got some value to the local people. And yeah, little butterflies flittering and fluttering about. It's pretty good stuff. I'm glad that I decided to walk home, not just got a taxi or something, because yeah, like it's funny, you know, like you get a taxi because you want to be comfortable, but then you get home and you can't get to sleep because you're not tired. So yeah, it's good to get out and about and expend some energy, you know, using my body to get home for free. Yeah, so there's always been people selling things here since the time I've lived in Tianjin, and I just saw some peaches way back there, like for $1 a kilogram, so it's pretty cheap. These are some lotus flowers. People buy them to eat the seeds. And yeah, after jumping the road there, I'm on a whole new section. And this is a way, yeah, if my mum's watching this or something, it can give her some added info. This has been open about a year. And my wife usually walks along here and to the other section, and then she gets a taxi. So this is a pretty cool part of her lifestyle, I guess. Not always, because her colleague drives her home like usually 3 or 4 days a week actually, but at least once a week she usually does this. She often does it on a Friday, which is pretty cool. And yeah, again, these crab apples, this row of crab apples. I just think the Chinese are getting better and better and better at building parks. Like, they're just getting more and more inspired. And you know, there are still some issues because, like, you know, not to sound like some of the YouTubers that are critical of China, but you do find that, like, they aren't maintained as well as you'd like, you know, like when they start to get a bit old and stuff breaks, they sort of often just leave it until people start dying or something, you know. But yeah, like, in terms of design, this is just incredible. This is first class. This is as special and as lovely as any park in the entire world. Any contemporary park design that exceeds this is yeah, pretty wonderful, really amazing. And yeah, it just gets more and more incredible. I mean, look it up here. You've got this lovely, yeah, I mean, this really kind of like intriguing flight of steps. I mean, I am walking home. I shouldn't detour too much. I shouldn't go up here probably, but yeah, again, I mean, these pieces of wood, these big pieces of wood, they really do need some oil. They need to be protected. They must have been very expensive. Oh, okay, so it sort of comes along the back here as well. So yeah, this little hut is pretty cool. And yeah, I just heard a bird then. I mean, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. That is really lovely. That is really cool. That's great. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a botanical garden or something. Yeah, amazing. And yeah, this section is great too, because this is a section that has these big trees. These big trees used to line the railway line. And yeah, I have actually been on, like, this section. I just explored this section before it was a park, and just walked between these big trees, like these colonnades of enormous trees. And then over the road it continues. And I did used to go along that. I'd probably gone on that like about a dozen times, I guess. I was using it, or trying to use it, as like I was an early adopter of the park, an early believer. And I like to think I'm a pretty imaginative person, but I personally couldn't have dreamed up a better use of this park, like a better use of this space. They've done a really terrific job. And yeah, it's great to be among these big trees, these really large trees. It's really fantastic. I'm loving it. I am loving it. People say I should go home. Why should I go home when this is so amazing? So I hope that gives like a better like indication of the park, you know, of how big the trees are, because they are pretty big. They are big. They're really big. And yeah, there must be a few hedgehogs. I can only imagine there must be a few hedgehogs around here at night, or Siwei, as they're called in Chinese. Siwei, I'm not sure like what the tones are. And then yeah, wow, it opens up to a gym, kind of a gymnasium, massive rock. Yeah, the Chinese value rocks. I love rocks. And yeah, it's a little gymnasium area, and another resting area. And they even have like a train schedule there, which is a pretty nice touch. I mean, I had sort of thought this could be a lovely suburban tramway, actually. That was probably my vision for it, but I think this is even better. This is even better because the trees can grow bigger. If it was a tramway, the trains couldn't grow so big. The trees couldn't grow so big.